I didn't really know what I want to showcase for today, so I kind of remember the team that I used back in the day, like 2 seasons or 1 season ago, with the Shadow Dragonite when it got superpower first, and I kind of wanted to revisit it. And so, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Dragonite again. Dragonite has access to superpower since I think the last season, and this move makes it way more viable in the Great League. We'll be able to destroy something like a Bastion with ease, as you can see here. We have also the Altaria again. Basically, main reason why you want to play this team like you want to play this team, you're going to have a steel type in the lead that can beat other steel types with the Galarian Stunfisk. We're going to have a Pokemon in the back with our Dragonite that will be able to destroy something like a Bastion or something like also the Stunfisk, and it will be able to bait those out. Here I actually make a crucial mistake. I'm gonna go into my into my Altaria. I should have went into my Dragonite for sure, because Dragonite would have had access to the superpower. There's something that you kind of have to know with this team. Usually what you do when the opponent swaps out into a Pokemon that you hardwall with both of your Pokemon in the back, usually go into your closer, because your closer will have a little bit of a better matchup there. But in this scenario specifically, like, it's a little bit better to go into your Dragonite. It doesn't really matter because he's still going to hardwall the last Pokemon of the opponent with the Medicham there. But still, like, I could have played this a little bit better, and I could have went into my Dragonite instead, which would have worked out better. Yeah, against PokéSkaaren, I think he's already, like, he was at the London international tournament there last year, like in the World Championships. He also is already qualified. I think he already qualified like last time as well, and now he is up against us. So we're going to see a Sableye here. I make a crucial mistake, a completely nonsense mistake that I shouldn't have done at all. I stayed in for way too long against the Sableye, and then I didn't throw my move, which didn't really make any sense at all. It's not as bad for me, as I will be able to take this move here, and I still have superpower for the opponent, but they can return me here. And yeah, now I have to align my Pokemon again. I have the superpower, of course, on my Dragonite, which I can reach, hopefully, but they're going to have Frosters in the back, and this is not ideal. But they're going to try to swap into their Stunfisk onto my Dragonclaw. Didn't work out for them. Fine for me, I can go ahead and snipe them now with my own Stunfisk. This should be able to knock out the opponent, and it does not by 1 HP, but this is only a Rock Slide as far as I know. And we will be able to go ahead and go for 1 Rock Slide ourselves here. This should knock out the opponent. Even if not, I still have the Dragon Breath in the back, and we still have a shield, but this will be enough to knock out the opponent there. Next opponent, we see an Altaria lead. Very nice for us. Altaria lead is what we want to see, of course. We've seen Obstacle coming in, and our own Altaria should have a pretty decent time here. We will be able to at least go for both, like, Moonblast would be, of course, super effective, and we'll just one-shot this thing. But with a Dragon Breath already, Sky Attack is the way to go, in my opinion, because it's just safer. Like, you don't waste a ton of energy if they actually shield here. Let's see if they're going to shield, and if not, like, they might still get to another move, but it doesn't really matter. And they're actually going to shield this move up here. They're going to go for another charge move, going to be another Night Slash. They're going to get the boost, which is kind of annoying, but I still can go for another Night Slash. And now we are 2 shields up. I can go ahead and go into my own Dragonite. I can farm them down, and I will be able to go ahead and farm them all the way down. They got a double boost here as well. We will see the opponent coming into their Altaria again, I think. I'm going to save my Dragonite because my matchup against with my Stunfisk is just better. And we will see a Toxicroak coming in here, and we're going to see the Toxicroak going out here again, and we're also going to see the opponent going out here again. This team actually worked out really, really well. I really enjoyed this team. I think, a big mistake in this game here, I think. We see the Sableye against us. Sableye is usually a pretty decent matchup for our Altaria. They're gonna go straight for a return. Very good play by the opponent. I should have shielded this because I really need alignment here for this scenario, and if I don't get alignment, which is now not possible anymore, I think, because they can just farm me all the way down with Shadow Claw, I'm kinda in a bad spot. We will be able to go for another charge move here at least. This should get the final shield by the opponent, and it does. And I will be able to farm them all the way down with my own Dragonite, but of course they can go back into their 90s there. I will be able to go for 1 Rock Slide against the opponent's Trevenant. I think I would win this in the 1-shield scenario, so I thought I might be fine here. But what I'm actually going to do here is, I don't know if it's a mistake, I kind of have to see. I know that Earthquake does a little bit more damage than Rock Slide. I know it's resisted, but it's stab and a way better move, and you can see, I put them into farm down range. Sadly, not quite enough to really farm them down. I will still be able to farm them down. I still get to another move here. And now it really depends if I can still hit the superpower against them. And I try to get there, and I'm missing out by, I think, 2 turns, which is one charm basically. Don't know if I could have got those extra farm a little bit earlier somewhere, but still, good game to my opponent, very well played, but I kind of misplayed this. I could have definitely won the game against them, but I kind of screwed it up. We will see an Ampharos coming in against us here. This is fine for us. We can go for one Dragonclaw. This should get the shield by the opponent, and it does. And with this, it's also kind of nice. We will be able to shield it up. They're going to be able to get to 2 moves anyway, sadly. They're going to survive it by 1 HP. I knew that before. I farmed them down as well. I knew that I wouldn't be able to farm them down in time, but it doesn't really matter because they have to show me their final Pokemon, or their Venusaur not going to like this matchup still. We're going to be able to double resist their fast move. We will be able to go for a neutral Dragonclaw. We're going to get the shield, and we're going to get the KO as well. And now we can align, and basically aligning with this team means an instant win. There's not a lot that they can do here anymore. We will be able to go into our own Stunfisk against them. And we can go for the Earthquake here. Even if we lose CMP like here, we always survive 1 Earthquake anyway, and they're going to be very low, and I can go into my Altaria and I can farm them down. And there's not a lot that they can do here anymore, and we will be able to win this game. I don't know where they even throw, but this is going to be a good game. Very nice. This team actually really still works. Like, main reason why I wanted to try this team out, I haven't seen a ton of Azumarill. Like, Azumarill kind of died out for me at least. So I was thinking that Dragonite might have some play right now, and that was definitely right. As a say swap, this Pokemon is insane. A ton of Pokemon in the meta, like for example the Noctowl, for example the Lantern, all of them are kind of neutral against it. So with some shields, you might be able to just farm them all the way down. Here I will be able to still go for one Dragonclaw against the opponent's Noctowl, or I will be able to go for the my own shield here, I think, as well. My own shield allows me here definitely now to just farm them all the way, and I will be able to realign my Pokemon, which is the main important thing here. We're going to see the Trevenant coming back in, and they have to take this Dragonclaw, or they're going to shield up, and we're going to put them into range where I can just go into my Altaria and have a very great time. Shadow Ball is not going to two-shot us yet, but we see the opponent swapping immediately into their Lantern. Doesn't really help them too much, I think, as we will be able to go for one Earthquake with our Stunfisk, which is amazing. This does not knock them out actually, which is crazy, but they are too bulky for us. It doesn't really matter though, because we will be able to go for one more Rock Slide against the incoming Trevenant, because we still have another Surf here. We can also go for the Earthquake actually, but I'm gonna go for 2 Rock Slides because I think it's safer. This needs, like, basically puts the opponent to a point where they have to throw, but I actually can farm them down already just with my fast move alone, which is going to be a very good scenario for me. Also, if you didn't notice already, the background is a little bit different. I am not sure about this yet. I think it's better than the one before. The one before had worse quality. Here we see a matchup where I don't know what my opponent did here actually. Congrats on the boards that my opponent has here, because I don't have them. I definitely was surprised that they don't shield at all with their Bastion. Like, I guess they didn't care about it, but why do they bring it in the first place then? I have superpower. This would have easily knocked out the opponent, so I baited so I can get to another move, but I guess my opponent just don't know what they thought, what they did there. That completely caught me off guard, and now we're basically so far behind. I mean, what are we supposed to do here anymore? The Bastion of the opponent is still nearly healthy. We're going to have now Altaria against them, which is pretty okay-ish. At least I can farm them down here, but we still have the Bastion here, and there's not a lot that we can do anymore to win this. Our last Pokemon is nearly dead. We will be able to go ahead and farm them all the way down before they get to another move, which is nice, and we see a Sableye coming in. Wait, is there still a chance to win this? We will be able to go for one Sky Attack at least, and we're gonna get the shield from the opponent. We can go for another Sky Attack here. Can we still get to another one afterwards? We will find out shortly. We're going to shield up this move here. This will allow us to do more damage with our Dragon Breath. This will put them into range. I'm pretty sure this is Rock Slide range already. And I think I have enough health to get to another Rock Slide, and I do. Just barely getting there. I have like 1 HP after this one left, and I will be able to knock out the opponent, and this is going to be a good game there. Even though I misplay and my opponent had the biggest balls of no shielding there, even though I had superpower, which would have completely annihilated them, but hey, very nice. Next opponent, we're going to see a Bastion in the lead. We're going to see a Medicham as a safe swap. I wonder if they have the Trevenant in the back and they're a viewer. If you're a viewer, hello. Thanks for the battle, but I'm not sure. We will see. We will see the Medicham there. It's definitely like, it's at least, I mean, that's also something that you could do. You could throw people like me off guard and doing like, okay, I'm going to have the lead of Bastion, I'm going to have the say swap of Medicham, but you have then something in the back that also doesn't like the Noctowl. but is not the Trevenant. That would be also something that you can do, because it would, yeah, get people off guard. But here we see Trevenant coming in here again. This is definitely someone who will most likely at least watch the video prior. Yeah, like this team is literally everywhere, which is crazy. Like, I think it's been a while since I impacted the meta so much with a video, but yeah, I actually also the other team that I showcased prior with the pitch shot is I saw that a lot as well already, so very cool to see my own teams. Not as cool to lose against my own teams, which happened actually quite a lot. But here, just for the flex, and because I know that they are on my team, I have to go for the swap into my into my Dragonite and go for the superpower. Totally unnecessary. I could have just went for the Earthquake and won the game like this as well, I think. But superpower, I can have to showcase it definitely for the video. We see a Lickitung in the lead. We're going to see a safe swap here of Toxicroak. I find that fighters are pretty safe in the current meta, unless you run the team that I run here, because I have 2 flying types. But usually, even against something like a Noctowl, you usually still be fine, because Noctowl still takes neutral damage from counter. Still fighting type moves are all neutral, and you sometimes, like Machamp has, for example, Rock Slide, which is nice for you. So it's not the clearest matchup either. But yeah, we will be able to farm them down here. We have basically the same amount of shields. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Moonblast, which I think does more damage than the one Sky Attack. And they're going to swap out into their own Medicham, where we have to counter with our own Dragonite here. This is a little bit tricky, because the opponent made a very smart call there by going for the swap before I can swap, so they didn't farm me down. What means now for them that they can go for another Ice Punch before I can reach my move. If you didn't know, like Medicham and Dragonite should get to the moves basically all the time at the same time. Which is also a little bit annoying here, is that they win CMP. And like this, I am getting low, and I'm getting very low, and I'm getting low to a point which I don't really like. My only play now for winning this one, because they have already a ton of energy with their Lickitung, is to catch the move, which, as you might have seen already, it didn't work out that well. They're gonna go for the Power Whip, they're gonna get me low enough that I cannot do anything, and that's going to be a good game. I think it didn't matter though. I think that they would have won anyway, even if I caught the move, because they had enough health to still survive on Earthquake. Interesting to see here a normal Stunfisk, a Unova version of it, having access to Mud Shot and Mud Bomb, trying to catch the Mud Bomb there. Clearly worked out as intended. We will see that the discharge does actually a ton of damage against us, and we will be able to go for one Dragon Claw against the incoming Pelipper, which will not like this move here at least. Sadly, they're going to survive this, but they're going to go for the Blind Throw for Weather Ball, which is good for me, because I can take one and I can take another one as well if they want to throw even more at me. Like, this bird definitely doesn't really care about the Weather Ball, as we see the Sableye coming in here. This is an interesting one. It's actually a decent one for me. I actually like to see the Sableye here, because this will allow me to go ahead and go into my Stunfisk catching the move. I didn't want to catch the move, but it doesn't really matter. We will go for an Earthquake here. This would knock out the opponent. Let's see if they're going to let this move go through. They're going to shield this move up, and we will see that they're going to go for another charge move here. Fine for me, I can shield up. Going to be a foul play. We see the opponent coming into their own Stunfisk, and I will be able to go for another Earthquake, not knocking them out yet, but I can farm them down, but sadly not now. I will be able to go back into my Altaria. Of course, we still have one shield left. Now it's a race. Can I get to my charge move in time? We will never find out, because the opponent just forfeits anyway. But yeah, we're going to go now into the final match. We're going to have a tough-ish lead with the Pelipper. We're going to see an Altaria coming back in here. Altaria wins this matchup, but Altaria always has to shield at least once against me, which is very good for me, because you know what I have in the lead. I'm going to have a Stunfisk in the lead, which doesn't care at all about whatever they throw at me. Everything is resisted. Moonblast, go for it. I don't really care too much about it. I can go for another Rock Slide. Sadly, they get to the move in time here. But what I'm going to do now, I think, with this one is, can go for one Rock Slide, and I think I undercharge it. Yeah, look at this. I undercharge it a lot, which gives me one more Mud Shot, okay? One more Mud Shot. This might be super important. Might completely has no relevance or whatsoever, but we will see that we can go into the Altaria catching the move again. Altaria is getting red right now with all those Weather Balls hitting it, but we will see the Lantern coming in, which is going to be amazing for us, I think at least. Maybe it's not, we will see. they hit us with Thunder. I guess it's not as amazing. We will be able to go for a Moonblast though. Like, who runs Thunder in the first place? This Moonblast want to get them kind of low, and what we're going to do now is we're just going to rely on our Stunfisk. Like, we have a shield advantage. We're going to get a ton of energy here. They're going to get to another self. I don't really care too much about it. But what we have now is basically 2 moves. We have a shield still left, they have 1 shield left, and there's nothing they can do anymore. And this is going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you haven't already, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!